Hello, I'm Peter Blackwood. Welcome back to Icon Diary, and I've been painting an icon of Saint Stephen, the first deacon and the first martyr. I'm sketching with a hoghair brush with yellow ochre and water. Just need to sand that back a bit so that it's not so prominent, so that now we can mix some egg with the ochre and make the sketch a little bit more definite, and using a number 3 Kolinsky brush. Now I'm using a model photo I found off the internet, so let's bring the photo of that up so you can see what I can see. This icon is a bit of a watershed. It's a last icon. That is, it's the last of the icons that I've been painting over the last few years of the saints and people of faith from the Calendar of Other Commemorations of the Uniting Church. This is icon number 114. Got the basic outline in place, I think, and then it's time to paint in the background, and for this yellow oxide with some titanium white. Now I figured the background was going to be too dark. It was going to be too close to the yellows in the figure itself, in the clothing. So I've put more white in to make it make it lighter. That's what I'm trying to do here. I did a perfect halo, one go, beautiful, just was so thrilled. Only one mistake, I forgot to turn the camera on. tunic will be white, but I'm going to begin with an undercoat of yellow ochre. The other particularly liturgical garments, this stole and cuff, will have an undercoat of Mars orange. And the outer garment is Ercolano red. And the highlights will be the base colours, but with titanium white added. We know about Stephen from the Acts of the Apostles written by St. Luke, when Stephen and a bunch of other members of the church were designated particularly to serve, and so the deacons were to look after particularly the widows, and then later on, particularly in chapter 7, we hear of Stephen's arrest because of his proclamation of the gospel, and he is sentenced to death and is stoned. I'm using yellow oxide, made a bit lighter with titanium white for the decorations on the adorning garments. And it's white spotting time. This image is hopelessly anachronistic. Stephen would not have worn these garments. He would not have had a tonsure. He would not have been holding these liturgical accoutrements. But the deacons became the people in holy orders who looked after the liturgical accoutrements and the finances. In the Western churches, this has changed somewhat, and there has been in the last half century or so a renewal of the diaconate to reflect more faithfully the stories of the deacons from the Acts of the Apostles. And so the renewed diaconate in Western churches has focused on the proclamation of the gospel through service. The shading on the face and hands has been painted with raw umber green and with some terra vert, but made lighter with titanium white. And now the flesh tones being added now is yellow ochre and Herculano red, terra vert, some burnt umber hair being put in, and many coats of this flesh tone being applied as a membrane. And then of course the addition of white to the base colour for the highlights. Well, he's nearly finished, and just add some Herculano red, and perhaps that smudge on his cheek could come out. Yep, that's better. Good. Thank you for watching. As I say, this is the last of the icons in the series of other commemorations, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.